Welcome to another episode of the Whiskey House Pop House. This time we're doing a review, and the whiskey today is Green River. So Green River is a pretty historical brand. It was released originally in 1885. However, through the time, it's had some very difficult upbringings, we'll say. In 1918, there was a fire that destroyed more than 40,000 barrels. And then following up the next year, Prohibition hit and they were forced to close. However, then in 1933, they were rebuilt. And then shortly after, they were purchased by Shinley Distilling Company. After that business deal, they were able to make whiskey until 1993, where then again, they were shuttered and mothballed until bourbon started showing signs of life. And then in 2014, the distillery site was purchased, and 2 years later, they started releasing whiskey, but however, this time they were releasing under the O.Z. Tyler Distillery brand name. And if you're familiar with the O.Z. Tyler label, then you might also be familiar with the process called TerraPure. And the not murky, but it's kind of a, process that's trying to speed up bourbon. I encourage you to go take a look at that if you're unfamiliar with the TerraPure process, but maybe one day we'll get into it here. However, the good news is in 2020, they rebranded and changed the distillery name back to the Green River namesake. And then in 2022, they released their first more traditional bourbon. Slowly after that, in June of 2022, Bardstown Bourbon Company purchased them. And fast forward to today a little bit, they come out with the Green River Rye. This is 47.5%, and it is a 95.5 mash bill, just like the more not traditional, but the more widely recognized MGP mash bill. Exact same. However, it definitely is being made at Green River. So even though it's the same recipe, two different chefs in the kitchen. Let's get into it. And yes, I did pour it ahead of time. This may be multiple recording attempts in. But it's the nose is a very, to me, confectionery sugar with a nice addition of not sarsaparilla. It could be sarsaparilla, but eucalyptus, I believe, is what I'm thinking of. Classic. It's a very nice classic rye nose. And for the price, I believe it's $35. They are just starting to release this more and more into new markets. Right now, currently, I believe it's in about 25 states, according to what I could find. Otherwise, you probably can get it on sealblock.com. Go check them out. It's kind of cool. It's a shameless plug. Definitely not sponsored, but yeah, it's nice. There's a little bit of like a lemon note in there. Definitely citrus. All right, let's taste it. It's very oily feeling right up front. Ooh, and the tail end hits you with spice. Man, it's hitting me with spice. I can't even think about the tasting notes before it slaps me with that spice. Okay, so the spiciness is actually, it does kind of come up with that. There's a cola note almost to it. You know how Coke has like a spiciness to it? It's kind of hitting you with that combination. Super rich. Overall, great bottle. And for $35, man, that's right up there with everything else. I don't know what else is in that range. Like the Old Forester 100, maybe. It's a liter. It might be more expensive, but it's a great addition. I suppose the Michter's rye too, but that's a lower proof and single barrel. Otherwise, Knob Creek rye too. It's probably, I think, a little bit more even, but higher proof still than this. But yeah, it's a very nice, welcome addition to the rye market, I think, or just whiskey in general. Cool thing about this bottle too, if you don't know, I'm sure this has been told a ton by other people, is there is a built-in game into these bottles. There's a horseshoe at the bottom of the bottle, gives its base for its unique shape, but you're supposed to get a coin and you try to flick it into the small opening at the bottom and play some sort of bottle game if you're that sad. No, it's kind of cool, but yeah. No, it's great. Final thoughts. Definitely recommend, especially if you like rye. I think for the price point, it's not gonna upset you if it's not your thing. If you do try it, but overall great. I would love to try this in a Manhattan. It already kind of has like those Manhattan qualities. Like it's got the sweetness from the sweet vermouth already and the creaminess that it adds. It just feels like it's already built into it. So fantastic. Well, that's going to do this single review of Green River 95.5 Rye. And let us know what you think. Like this video. Share it. Subscribe, please. Leave a comment. Do all those things that you're supposed to do to be a good YouTuber. Or I'm supposed to tell you. But thanks for watching. Join us next time. The Whiskey House Pub House. And definitely, as always, this round's on us.